We are floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingmen Show, where we're floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you two badass jet pilots, rumble. Welcome to the Wingmen Show. My name is Commander Drew Brown. My wingman, my friend, my main man is Dr. Paul Thompson. What's up, Brother Paul?
Oh, Commander Drew, it's good to see you this morning. I'm doing pretty good. Had a very, very good stimulating mental workout this morning. And I think we are ready to go with the show.
Well, I can't wait. And you know, we have a new member on our team, and that is Ace, the Chat GPT AI, and I can't wait to talk to Ace. Anyway, let's start off with a quote of the day. And Dr. Paul Thompson, this quote is just for you because it has your favorite word in it. Movement is the song of the body by Vanda Scaravelli. One more time. Movement is the song of the body. Don't you believe that with all your heart, Dr. P?
Absolutely, because every study I've seen and everything I've experienced in my own life shows that, prolonged sitting and not moving is just not good for you. You don't need studies for it. It's just not good for you. Movement is important.
Yes, and that's one of the main things. In the four things, if you want to live to 100, your body has to move, you have to eat good, you have to have a small, good group of friends, and number four, you have to have purpose. All right, we're going to change up a little bit here, Dr. Paul. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with our frequent flow line because the title of this show today is They Walked Out? Good. Now walk into something greater. And I think you'll understand as soon as I bring my man Ace to the show. So right now I am going to read him a letter. So let's get him on the line. Hey, how are you, Ace? How you doing? This is your first time on the Wingman Show, and I'd like to read you a letter from the frequent flow line. And remember, we get this letter on our website, wingmenshow.com. That's wingmenshow.com. Here's the letter. Dear Wingman, I am a gunnery sergeant with 12 years in the Marine Corps, currently stationed at MCAS Beaufort, South Carolina. I've seen a lot in this uniform, but nothing's rocked me like this divorce my wife wants. I thought I was bulletproof, but this one's got me questioning everything. I tune into your show because you two bring realness, wisdom, and just enough humor to keep a Marine from losing his damn mind. Is there anything you can say to help a brother push through this storm? I'm all ears. Semper Fi. Talk to him, Ace.
Well, first off, Semper Fi, Gunny. That's a tough situation to be in, and I really appreciate you reaching out and sharing that with us. It's never easy to go through something like that, especially when you feel like you're supposed to be this bulletproof Marine. But I just want you to know that it's okay to feel the way you're feeling, and it's okay to lean on your fellow Wingmen, and we're here for you. So hang in there, and we're going to get through this together.
Wow, is that not great? Dr. Paul, you have Ace too, and I think you have a letter also. Two great letters. You want to go with it, Dr. P?
Let's ask Ace what he thinks. Ace, I got a question for you. One of the frequent flow lines we received this week is asking your opinion on how to manage a really tough situation. Here it is. Dear Wingman Show, I'm a 60-year-old woman and recently divorced after 30 years of marriage. I feel like I've lost my footing. How do I start over at this age? Emotionally, socially, maybe even romantically. I still believe in joy, but I could use some wingman wisdom. Thank you. Well, Ace, I want to throw it to you first. How would you answer this, dear lady?
Well, first off, I'd say it's really inspiring that she still believes in joy. That's such a powerful mindset. My advice would be to take it one step at a time. Emotionally, she can start by rediscovering activities and passions that bring her happiness, maybe even things she hasn't done in a while. Socially, joining clubs or groups around her interests can help her build new connections, and romantically, just being open to new experiences and meeting new people can lead to unexpected joy. The key is to be patient and kind to herself along the way.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ace. We will definitely pass that along. And I would just add, yes, by expressing joy, you're actually taking the first step, and that's great. And Ace said, and I agree, reach out socially, maybe do something different. I suggest taking a class. Senior citizens oftentimes get big discounts. Take a class, get around some new people, and above all, don't just stay to yourself, locked in depression. Get out there and move to the best of your ability.
That's great advice, Dr. Paul. Now, out of the two of us, only one of us has been divorced, and that's been me. I'm on my second marriage. Actually, if you combine them both, I'm up to 45 years of being married. My first wife, Lori, I stayed married for 22 years, and now I'm on my second marriage of 23 years. And I will tell you this, it was one of the worst things I've ever gone through. And I thought everything was over. It was horrible. And I really wanted to stay married, even maybe I shouldn't have stayed married, but my parents were divorced. And I know as a young man, it hurt me more than anything when my parents split up. I remember the day my dad left. I actually remember sitting on the bed with him when he was packing, and he said, "I'm leaving, but I'll be around, son." So it's one of the hardest things that ever happened. But here's the good news. In a couple years after divorce, I met Katrina, and she is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. I am so happy. I am remarried. Have a very happy marriage, and it's all because of the divorce. Because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have found Katrina. So thank you so much for these letters. Remember, once again, you can write us at wingmenshow.com. That's wingmenshow.com and write us, and we'll try to answer you. Now, let's get to the good news. Hey, Dr. Paul, guess what? Venus Williams is back in tennis, and matter of fact, she won her first game, and she hoped Serena would come out of retirement to join them, because they're great sisters, and they both reached number one in the rankings. Venus is 45 years old, Dr. Paul. And you know what she said? I'll read it. She said, just for the pure fun of playing the game, the fun of the challenge, overcoming when you play, you overcome so many challenges, your opponents, the conditions. A lot of times you have to overcome yourself. Those things are very exciting. And that's why she's playing again. And boy, if Serena comes out, that would be amazing. But my girl Venus won 7 major singles championships, 2 at the US Open. What do you think about Venus Williams coming back at 45 years old to play professional tennis again, Dr. Paul?
That's amazing. I guess when you're an elite athlete, there are a lot of things you can do that the average person couldn't. Because realize that didn't she have like a 16-month layoff? She hadn't played for a while, and she
Yes.
came back and won right away. Great people can do that. I've never seen her play, but a cousin of mine did watch her, in person. He said it was impressive when she did it like an exhibition here. It's just a different level of play. As far as Serena, they are, she's just what, a couple of years younger. That would be something. People coming out of retirement, coming back one time. Uh, I guess analogous to like George Foreman coming back and winning the heavyweight champ. You never know. So I think Venus's goal is maybe to be in the New York Open when whenever that happens, or some other big tournament.
Well, that's excellent. And I've been around a lot of comebacks, and one of them was with Ali. And every time he came back, he won, except in the end, he got his ass beat. And, in tennis, all you can do is lose. You won't get beat up. But I think it's great when people continue on to do their great sports and great singing and great anything that they can do into their last years. I think it's just wonderful. Now, how about this good news? Guess what? Now at the airports, they have new military benefits. If you have your uniform on, you can go to this dedicated honor line. And for Gold Star families, they can apply for TSA PreCheck for free. And they're going to give spouses a $25 discount on TSA pre-check. And but for everybody, you don't have to take your shoes off anymore. And I think it's wonderful. But I love that they're going to give the military, they're going to give us what we deserve, a little bit of thanks for doing all the things that we've done to keep this country free. What do you think about our
Yeah.
new military benefits at the airports, Dr. Paul?
Yeah, well, Commander Drew, I think that's excellent. I mean, it's well deserved. Everybody deserves that break. And I think for anybody, anything that makes traveling easier, particularly traveling through airports, which is not what it used to be, when I started doing it as a child many decades ago, anything that makes it easier now is worth it. Do you remember, if you ever go to the airport, you remember you could walk the person to the gate?
Oh, no doubt about it. When I went to Southern University in New Orleans, when I flew there from New York, I thought they were going to have a band right there at the gate welcoming there for the great basketball player from New York. They weren't there, but yes, you could walk right up to the gate and say your goodbyes.
Yeah, exactly. You could walk, you could bring whatever, nobody bothered you. They serve food and real food and not desiccated peanuts. And it was a different world. So anything that makes life easier for the military, the traveling public is an improvement, in my opinion.
Yes, it is. And I'm hating a little bit because we just got our TSA pre-checks not too long ago, and we were so happy we didn't have to take off our shoes. And now everybody doesn't have to take off their shoes. Well, some more good news, and this is from the state of Arizona. Governor Katie Hobbs has erased $429 million in medical debt for more than 352,000 Arizonans. And believe it or not, the Arizona medical debt is at $2.4 billion. But how great is that, that some people's lives have changed dramatically because they don't have to pay back all this medical debt? Isn't that a good one? I wish all states did that. Good job, Katie Hobbs.
I agree. There are some people that get these big bills sometimes just for just one thing. They get sick or whatever. Maybe they got to take an ambulance, and that can cost you thousands of dollars. Just a one way, I won't call it Uber ride. It'd be a life saving event, but just getting to the hospital may be the biggest debt that hangs over people just for years and years and years.
And Paul, I think that it probably stops people from going to see the doctor. They might really be sick and they don't want to see him because they don't want to absorb these bills. And that's wrong because your life is the most important thing you have. You
Right.
always want to survive, and you always want to survive in a good, healthy manner. So I'm glad Arizona's doing it. I got some more good news for you, Dr. Paul.
Good.
We were talking about people who didn't take their vaccinations uh, when we had that COVID, and people didn't want to take vaccinations because they didn't know what was inside of it. And yet, I told you, they eat the color blue, they eat the color green, they eat the color red all the time, and we have no idea where those dyes come from. Well, the good news is the FDA just approved a new blue dye, and it comes from gardenia fruit. I think that's wonderful. I hope they do that for all the colors, Paul.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not sure how significant that is, but food dyes. I remember red dye number two was something that went out in the 70s. I don't know how many red dyes are, but the biggest thing people really have to watch out for is salt and sugar in junk foods. That's what's giving you diabetes and all these other diseases. Maybe I don't think it's the food dyes. I think it's the other stuff that makes it so addictive. With Lay's potato chips. Remember you said, I said, "Bet you can't eat just one." It was one of the chips, and that was true because you're getting addicted then.
Well, they made it addictive. They actually put stuff in there to addict you. And as far as the dyes, what makes red dye? That's the point. What makes red dye number two, number three, number four? What are the ingredients in it? Well, they don't tell you. And I always said, if you can't read the ingredients that are going into your body, don't put them in your body.
Right.
All right, Dr. Paul, how about those super bad jets we got behind us today? You have a beautiful F-16. I believe that's from the Thunderbirds. That's a beautiful picture. And me, I have an A6 intruder. If you notice, I'm flying over the projects in Harlem, New York. That's where I grew up, right there in Harlem. And now I'm flying an A6 over the projects full of bombs with my nose gear down. And that's
Yeah.
an AI picture. And if you notice, it says even Dark Gable on the side there. So that's AI giving me my A6 intruder again. What do you think about that, Paul?
Yeah, it looks like you're about to land. I don't know where you're gonna land. I remember there's a place called Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn it's been closed for years, but I remember seeing Coast Guard airplanes take off there. The Air Force does some great stuff. I like watching the Air Force Thunderbirds. You know that one of the difference between the Air Force Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels don't wear G suits, but the Thunderbirds do. They've
Well, why
actually
don't you explain, Dr. Paul, what a G suit is?
Thank you. That's good. I should. A G suit, an anti-gravity suit. Really, it's an anti-pulling blood out of your body suit. When you pull a lot of G's, positive G's, blood goes to the feet. And that can be sucked kind of out of your brain, and you can kind of gray out and actually lose consciousness at the extreme. So to prevent all your blood from going down, the G suit inflates and it prevents all the blood from just going down. So you're gonna have more consciousness, although it can happen to anybody. So the Blue Angels don't pull as many Gs as the Air Force, but they fly, in my opinion, a tighter, it's a different show. It's a little tighter formation and actually slower, where the Air Force flies quicker, and they have an airplane that can actually sustain more Gs. It's structurally
Well, you're
strong.
doing that because we're Navy pilots, and you know there are only two kind of pilots in the world, Dr. Paul. Ones that fly off of ships and ones that wish they could. And yes, the Blue Angels are super bad. And you and I had to wear G suits because we were in tactical jets and we had to pull G's like that. And what happens is the air goes into the suit and it tightens up around your belly, around your thighs, and around your calf. And when you're pulling G's, they teach you to grunt like,
Yeah,
just do that, tighten up your stomach so the blood doesn't rush out of your head.
yeah.
Everybody out there, thank you so much for supporting us and watching us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, listening to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and all the other ways you can watch and listen to The Wingman Show. Thank you so much for everything. And we have a newsletter this week. And our newsletter is 10 best steps to make after a divorce. The 10 best steps to make after a divorce. And I just think that that's wonderful. And you know what that brings me to, Dr. Paul? That brings me to the 11 facts in life. From fact number 9, perform continuous self examination. From the 11 facts in life, under fact number 9, perform continuous self examination. You know, Dr. Paul, nobody knows you like yourself. And you know what you're weak in and you know what you're strong in. And what you should do is always look for things that you can improve on yourself. You know what you shouldn't be doing and what you should be doing. And you need to keep performing that self examination so you always get to try to do your best. What do you think about that continuous self examination,
Yeah,
Doctor?
you do need to examine yourself. Other people are examining you too. People are rating you. Sometimes we can get a little too big-headed and think we're a lot better than we are, and oftentimes a humbling experience will, I don't like the term put you in your place, but the humbling experience will make you, if you're smart, make you reevaluate what you think you were so sharp in. I don't think there's any such thing as too much preparation. It's more like, too little if you're too cocky. So watch out for that.
Very good. And that brings us to our new segment called The Gouge. And you know what the gouge is. In the Navy, the gouge is shit you need to know, but sometimes nobody tells you. Well, we're bringing you the gouge, and it's brought to you by Ace, your wingman of Chat GPT AI. And I'm going to ask my main man a question here. I am going to get the gouge on this. Ace, they say that moderate exercise isn't enough to offset sitting all day. What do you think about that?
It's an interesting point, and a lot of studies are actually showing that even if you get in a workout, if you spend the rest of the day just sitting, it's quite enough to balance it out. So it's always a good idea to get up and move around a little bit throughout the day, keep that blood flowing. It all adds up.
And you see, Chet used your favorite word there. My man Ace used your word move.
Yep.
Dr. Paul, do you have a question there for Ace?
Give me some tips that people can use to avoid lost luggage.
Got it. One great tip is to make sure you label your bags clearly with your contact information. It's also a good idea to use a luggage tracker, like a Bluetooth tracker, so you can keep tabs on your bag. And lastly, try to get to the baggage claim area as soon as you land to reduce any mix ups.
Hey, thank you very much, Ace.
I'm so glad we have Ace now with us. What a wingman he is. And an Ace is a pilot that has shot down 5 enemy aircraft. And with Ace with us now, we can't lose. Dr. Paul and everybody out there, we have a show called The Wingmen Show. And the reason it's called that is because we always like to highlight a wingman, somebody who's helped somebody else. And Dr. Paul has our wingman for you this week.
Yes, our wingman this week is a gentleman named Kenji Flash Bowen. Flash is his nickname. Kenji Flash Bowen, a young man who did a very, very brave act not too long ago. One day in Wilmington, North Carolina, there were heavy rains and flooding conditions. So Kenji, his girlfriend, and their baby were in a truck headed and about to cross I guess, an open road, but the road was flooded. They thought they could make it. He realized he couldn't. So he started to back away to go to another way. As he was backing up, he saw another car on the other side of the road that was trying to cross that area. He said he flashed his lights to kind of warn them to avoid, trying to come in. It was dangerous. But they didn't see it or didn't understand. And the guy's he's in his truck and he's approaching, and all of a sudden he gets stuck. He's trying to reverse. He's backing up, but it's not working. And then the current catches the car and it starts sliding. So Kenji Flash Bowen, who's a big time former football and baseball player, obviously a great athlete. They called him Flash because he was so fast in school. Dashes out of his car in the rain and he goes into the water to get these people out of the car. And he does it. He's first he finds there's a woman, he gets her out the window and he takes her to safety and then gets the man and a dog. They had a dog with them. You'd like that, Mr. Drew. He got the man and the dog and then got them to safety just as the car sank. And that brought up a thing. If you're in a in a flooded car situation, like what would I do if the water is like halfway up the door of the car, you really can't open it. You actually have to wait until it's submerged and get equalization of pressure. So basically, got him through the window, and that's the way to escape a vehicle. But he risked his own life and saved 2 people and a dog. So our salute this week goes to Kenji Flash Bowen of Wilmington, North Carolina.
Way to go, Kenji Flash Bowen. That's great. I'm glad you saved some lives. And you also brought up a very important point. If your car ever gets submerged in water, do not try to open the doors because you can't, because all the pressure of that water is keeping those doors closed. You have to go out your window. So if you can get your window down, get out of the window. If you can't get it down, they also said in this article, maybe get a metal object or something and hit the top of the glass to break it, the top of the glass. Well, everybody out there, thank you so much once again for staying with us, for being our wingmen, and anything out there that you think is important and anything that you think is beautiful, and most importantly, anything that makes you happy, may you have that today and forever. I pray for peace.
I pray for peace too, Commander Drew. It's good seeing you again. We appreciate all those who listen, like, and share our message. Keep the questions coming on the frequent flow line. We'll do our best to give you a good response. Stay positive, keep your head up, fly right.
Thank you once again, Dr. Paul Thompson, my friend. Thank you for your love, your time, and that's something that we won't ever get back.
I want to thank all the listeners, too. Thank you so much for doing the show, Dr. Paul. We're jamming.
Well, thank you, Mr. Drew, for inviting me on. Always good to talk to you. And ladies and gentlemen, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast or any of the podcasts. If you're looking at YouTube, they say smash the like button. Don't smash it. Just press it gently and refer to use as a link to all your friends. You can also look at us on our website, wingmenshow.com, WINGMEN show, SHOW.com, altogether, wingmenshow.com. And we hope to see you in the future. Thanks again, Mr. Drew.
Oh, you're welcome. And we're still floating like butterflies and stinging like bees. Rumble, you badass jet pilots, rumble. May there be peace on earth and goodwill towards all men and women.